Hi, friends. Welcome back. This is Caitlin. I'm sure you don't recognize me because of my glasses, but it's me. Um, so you are back with me on Pink and Main on Facebook and or YouTube, and I'm so excited. We are going to make some Halloween fun tonight. One of our lovely viewers, Angie, had asked like 2 weeks ago now about a card that could hold a treat. So we made a treat holder the other day. Let's see, I think I still have it right here. Let me grab it. We made a little treat holder box that fit a little like a Reese's duo in here. But now we're going to make an actual card that holds a treat. So I'm very excited. I see Connie checking in, Mary. I'm so relieved. If you were here last week, you might remember I couldn't see who was watching. I couldn't see any comments. So it looks like that is resolved. I'm seeing Facebook and YouTube. So thank goodness for that. I'm so excited to jump into this with you guys. Hey, Susan. So the trick to this whole thing going correctly is I grabbed a Ghirardelli Squares candy because these are, if you haven't had them, they are pretty flat. Okay. And that's going to be my kind of like trick to getting this to work. I think I didn't actually make this one ahead of time, but we're going to make it work. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99.9% sure this one's going to be pretty easy. So we'll see. Hey, Virginia. I'm glad to see you checking in. Let me come out of the close-up and let me show you what we're working with. So if you guys know Pink and Main, at least for this year, right, in 2023, you probably know that there is a pup of the month. So every month out of the year, there's a cute little wiener dog, dachshund, stamp set. There's a different one for every month. So this was the September pup. And he is dressed in his little Halloween ghost costume. He's got his candy corn. He's got the cutest little Halloweeny sentiment. And so that is what the image that we're going to be using to feature and hold our candy, because I should have left that out. These are like just small enough to kind of tuck right behind him. So my idea is that we're going to make a little pocket between him and the card with some foam and like a little extra paper. He's going to hold our candy in place like he's just carrying it along. That's where we're going. So I do have him already stamped out so that my ink could dry for a minute. And we're going to use that sentiment because you know that Pink and Main has the coordinating dies for the candy corn, the boo, the Halloweeny, and the pup. So, and then if you spend, I think it's 75. If you spend over a certain amount on the Pink and Main website, you automatically get the pup of the month added to your order. Not the dies, but the pup. So that's really fun. So for backup on that, I grabbed the stitched mini slim rectangles because this one, I think it's this one, is 3 3, yeah, is about 3 3/4 of an inch, which is usually how wide I like to make my mat. So I figured that could give a little extra support on either side of our pup to help really like pop him up and hold our candy in place. So we're going to use that guy. And then I ran out of black cardstock, guys, because that's how much Halloween I've been making. So we're going to use gray today, and we're just going to pretend that it's black. Okay? Use whatever colors you want. Because this, if you swapped this pup out for like a little stack of presents, a couple snowflakes, whatever winter dog is coming, I'm sure, whatever November, December pup is on its way to us, you could use that and swap out these colors and give a Christmas or a holiday or winter chocolate to somebody. You could make this mint, maybe mint filled. I don't know. But I want to use the new Cozy Critters And I was thinking this orange with the white polka dot. I kind of like the deeper one. Although that looks kind of cool. I don't think that would work with the pup though, but that is really pretty. I love that pumpkin. I've got to use that for something. I still need to work on my blog card for tomorrow. There's no point in lying to you guys at this point. So that's what I'll be working on tonight when we're done our live. Maybe I'll use that for that because it's so cute. All right, we're going to go dark orange. Let's just go ahead and make a gray card base because why not? Andy's mints, that's such a good idea, Mary. That's such a good idea. I love those things, and they're definitely very flat. All right, so we're going to go 5.5, and we're going to go 4.25. Just like that. We are going to maybe grab our scoreboard. And someone had asked in one of the other videos how I knew what line to score these on. So just so you guys can see, I know a lot of scoreboards have them like printed. This one from EK Tools just has them etched. But just so you can see, like I have those inch measurements and half and quarter and all that. I think it's every 1/8 inch is marked on here. So I don't just like magically remember what line is what. I'm lucky if I remember. See, look, I can't even score this one right. I'm lucky if I remember what those marks lines are. Well, that's going to be the back. Go. Except now it has like a little uneven. We'll trim it. It's fine. Everything's fine. Just paper. Okay. It's going to be that kind of night, guys. Try this again. Nope, and then I overshot it the other way. Who needs a card base? You know what I mean? Not me. We can just have a card front for right now. Totally acceptable. All right, so we're going to also trim down a panel of this, and we're going to 3 3/4 by 5. So we're doing a 1/2 inch smaller on each side. And the thing I haven't decided yet is if the pocket is going to be out of the orange dot or the gray. I don't know if I want it to blend in. I kind of think I want it to stand out with the little pup. Or is it cuter if it like blends in and it looks like he's just holding it? Maybe that. I don't know. I'm going to start getting this attached. If anybody has any strong feelings of whether the background of our pocket should be orange or gray, you let me know. I got a new tube of glue. And I'm just going to refill from that other one that I had that's been clogging. I'm sure there is a way to clean out that clog, but for where I'm at mentally right now, that's not going to happen anytime soon. So it was a form of self-care at this point to just buy a new glue tube. And I know there's at least a couple people watching right now who know exactly what I mean by that. We've all been in some way or there's a little too much glue on that top edge. Okay. Making the executive decision that we're going orange. Hey, Barbara, thanks for checking in. And Lori, see Lori saying hello. I'm just using my Sizzix Big Shot die cutting machine right next to my desk on the floor to cut out that stitched rectangle. That. That's kind of cute. Okay. We have those guys ready. And then when we pop that up with our foam tape, we're going to probably have to double layer, but in theory, that'll fit right there. So cute. All right. So let's color up our little pup first. Then we'll work on our sentiment, and then we will assemble everything. So I'm going to start by coloring in the little dog's ghosty sheet. We're going to go with some cool grays. You can't have anything look white without some kind of shadow. So I'm going to grab my C5. Barbara, isn't it so cute? I have not been good about using the monthly pups. They're not like my typical kind of style, I guess. But this one, it's probably because it's Halloween, right? But this one has been speaking to me a little extra. And when Angie asked for that treat card, I just thought of this little pup. He's so cute. So I'm just kind of enhancing the artist drawn lines where those folds are happening in that sheet. Kind of anywhere there's extra little bumps and wiggles. And then under that big lump at the top, we're going to switch down to the C3. And the trick with these is we do need the gray to create that shadow, but we also need to leave a good bit of white space. And that's what's really going to help us to still read as a white sheet and not a gray sheet. A little ghosty pup. We're going to blend that out with 1. So we went 5, 3, 1. And just kind of flicking and pulling that color out. Just like that. Okay, and then just to make sure that it's a completely seamless edge, I'm going to go in with my colorless blender. Snip it side. And pull that, flicking it all the way into that white space because that's just going to melt everything. Colorless blender is basically, it's like the mixing agent. I don't think it's pure alcohol. well, they don't want you to think that anyway. I don't know what it is, but it basically just dilutes the pigment that's in that carrier and pulls it with it. So it just kind of pushes it into your paper. So this also doesn't look like much yet, but once we color everything else, it's really going to make that kind of stand out. Oh, Susan, that's so cute. Susan said she's going to use the little pup and to make a card for someone who has little wiener dogs. Love that. All right, I think we're going to use some. I just got 55 back, so let's go with 50s. We'll do 59, 57, and 55. Add a little, starting with my darkest marker, adding a little shading to the legs. There's not a lot of room here, so what we're probably going to do is use that lightest shade on the belly. We could probably get away with pretty much a 2-color blend up there. I want to like round out that cheek a little bit. I'm going to jump to my 57. You can leave just like a little sliver of room for the 55 up top. And we'll do that belly. I have one up there. So for our candy corn, let's give him a tongue first. Let's go R17. 1, 2, R14. And then our candy corn, we're going to do, I'm going to bring back just 2 of the cool grays that we used before. So the top of the triangle is the white. So I'm just going to create a little shadow on just one side. And then blend that out. There we go. Okay, then we're going to jump to, we don't need foil because I changed my mind earlier. Our orange. More middle is orange. So let's go YR09. Wherever you put your shadow on that first one is going to be your shadow line for all of those stripes. We're going to jump to our YR68. And then our lightest is going to be a YR04. And I left a little space next to that darkest shadow between that shadow line and the artist drawn line. That'll just help give a more rounded effect. I'm going to leave that out for his patches, I think. And then for our yellow at the base, let's go. That should be, let's go YR, or sorry, Y19. $15. And then Y13. Oh, yeah, that's good. I don't use my Y13 often. I was not sure how that was going to work, but I love that. Oh, yeah, Barbara. A lot of it is just figuring out what colors you like together, and then a lot of practice. But I hear you. Take notes on whatever you need to. That's why I always make sure my marker caps are in the frame for you. And I try to take those breaks in between to give you guys a closer look at what's happening, because sometimes the Zoom can only do so much for us. Using the same exact YR markers for these little patches in the sheet. And he needs a good chunky eye highlight, I think. I'm going to grab my 10 gel pen. Go and just give him a little highlight. I also went out of the lines a little bit around the tongue. So we can just kind of clean that up. Here he is. So cute. You could also get really creative with like giving that sheet a pattern if you wanted to. That would be super fun and cute. But we're not going to do that. So let me grab the coordinating die. You know what we'll do before we die cut these though? We'll stamp we'll cut a piece of this paper off and stamp our sentiment. And I really like it if I'm going to be stamping on white for, oh, you know what? No, we'll do that on the gray. Since we did the pocket in the orange, we'll stamp our glittery sentiment on the gray. I only have a few things, but I'm still managing to, literally right there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go back in with my Missy. Thank you guys so much. I think he's adorable too. I really like this one. So I'm stamping towards the bottom just so that I'm not wasting cardstock. We are going to pick that up. I have my replacement anti-static powder brush. Still have not found the second one. Normally when I reorder something, the day that it comes in the mail is the day that I find the original, but it has not turned itself in yet. No idea where that's going to, but okay. I'm going to rub my finger a little bit on my stamp to get it primed. And we're going to be going in with I say sherbet, but spelling it out on the supplies list, I know there's not a second R. So sherbet, I guess. That feels wrong. I'm gonna go in with my embossing ink a couple times, and then we're gonna pour our glittery embossing powder. All right, I'm just gonna put a sheet of printer paper underneath so we have an easier cleanup. Cut that off. That's pretty good. I just love the gold glitter in this embossing. Really pretty. Funnel that right back in. Lid on tight so I don't work too much havoc with it. And then let's get our heat gun warmed up. Warm it up over there. I like to get my heat gun a little bit hot before I take it to my paper. So I don't have to worry about extra warping. I'm going to mute when I bring it over just because I never know how loud it is. So give me 1 second and I'm going to throw it back on. Okay. So now we have, let's get you to focus. Here we go. Little happy Halloween, Halloweeny. Wow, I'm really on the struggle. There we go. In person, it's much easier to read too. It's got that glitter, but it's not like overpowering. I also think having it trimmed out is gonna help a little bit. I always try to line that up on top of my Misty, and then I never understand what doesn't work when I have a giant magnet in there and a metal die. I'm just going to take a little bit of washi tape and get that taped into place. Just going to trim that off so I can save this gray cardstock scrap for sure. Run that through my die cut machine. Hopefully that tape on that glitter isn't going to do anything crazy. Shouldn't. Yep, perfect. Here we go. Happy Halloween. Okay. Right? The orange is so fun. I love the pink and main glitter embossing powders, just in general. All right, so let's work on this assembly. Oh, we need one more die cut. Cut this up. Let's trim him out first. It's biting. That because I color on Copic Express It paper. I try to save all of my scraps. Tape down. And my die cutting machine. Here we go. Spooky Pop. Okay. Now let's see what we can do. Happy Halloweeny. I promise when I hold it up like towards the camera, you'll see it's way more legible than it looks right now, at least on my screen. Right? The gray is different. I like the gray. Sometimes it's fun to change things up a little bit. If I had my choice, I probably still would have chosen black, but here we are. I think the gray still makes for a great Halloween card. So I am trimming off little pieces of my foam tape, and I am going to cut one longer strip in half down the middle. I'm going to try. I really need some like those scissors that don't stick. I don't remember if they're like Teflon or what. I need a pair of those. If anybody has a favorite brand of their non-stick scissors, drop me a comment, because I'm going to be in the market for a pair. Because this is annoying to go through this every time. Because you guys know how I love my foam tape. So I'm going to take that longer piece and place it across the bottom. And that's because we're not sealing it up to the extent of a shaker, but we are creating a pocket. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is take the backing tape off of all of these. Also, if my nails look crazy, guys, I apologize. It's because I was wearing black nail polish, and when I took it off today, it didn't want to go all the way. So they probably look kind of dirty, and they're not dirty. They're just, I need to put on another polish. So we're gonna double stack. You could probably use like a triple, to be honest. I'm slightly concerned about how that's gonna fit. I think we need a triple stack. So this is definitely not a card you could just, put in a regular envelope. It would need a bubble mailer, or like, it's definitely something I would hand deliver if I had a choice. I'm not even going to worry about that bottom skinny strip. We'll just say that's like an extra bumper or something. And I'm not doing a fourth layer because I refuse. So let's get that lined up. Go. So we have our little pocket. Oh, that's perfect. Well, the paper hangs out now because I didn't seal that off. Let's see, maybe we can get that out of there. I have these lovely, very convenient pink and mean reverse tweezers. And maybe it can just be a little bit of an angled pocket. Yep, it sure can. Even like that. Yep. And our little pup is going to fit right on top. I'm going to add him with some tape runner, just so I don't have to worry about holding it for dry time. I know Virginia said it looks like my foam roll is not going to last that much longer. I think I've probably still got a month or two, maybe. If I'm lucky, I might be in denial about that, but definitely going to need a new one by the new year. That's for sure. So we get him added. Let's add that tape runner, double-sided adhesive, whatever you have, score tape to this guy. Just like that. Okay. And then our little candy can go in sideways. I kind of like it like that though. Like he's really just like carrying it to you. Okay. And then let's just pretend we live in a world where I attached that to a standard A2 size white card base. Because in an ideal situation, that is what I would do. But I don't feel like fighting with my paper trimmer tonight. And I have a feeling that that's just how it's going to go if we try to do that. So it's definitely not intricate. It's definitely not the craziest card that's ever been created, but it is very fun. And it would fit the needs of someone should they want to make a card that holds a treat. Right? So now we've made a card-like treat holder box that opens, and we've made a card that holds a treat. And now I have an entire bag of chocolate all to myself. So thank you for that, for twisting my arm into making this very fun little happy Halloweeny card. Let me, let's go back to this view. So, right, you can see, there you go. Happy Halloweeny is definitely very legible. It's hard on the camera and with the lights with that glitter, but in person you can definitely read what it says. And look at him, he's so cute. Like he's such a good boy. He bring in the chocolate. Oh, Mary said she'll help me eat it. Sounds good. All right. I am so grateful that you guys came to hang out with me. I hope you enjoyed this somewhat different idea on how to make a card that can hold a Halloween or holiday treat. Like I said before at the start, if you missed it, this is definitely this type of card that you could switch your images and your color to any occasion or season and make a really fun holiday or birthday or whatever. You could leave this pocket with the one thing of foam and slip a gift card into it. I usually, do I have a gift card over here? I usually do. Do I need it? Of course not. When I need it, I don't have it over here. But say, for instance, you needed to give like a little thin something. No, that's too thick. That was a stretch. Okay, you know what I mean. Just believe me. You could you could just do one thing of foam, or if it was just a plain gift card, you could probably just adhesive just the edges and slide a gift card right into that little spot, and you'd be good to go. You could have everything all in one. So I hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you guys for hanging out. If nothing else, I hope maybe you got some coloring inspiration. But that is all for tonight. I will be back here on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. If you have any requests or ideas or suggestions of questions, anything for Thursday, leave them in the comments. I'll be sure to come back and check. Otherwise, I will see you over on the Pink and Main blog tomorrow. I have to go figure out right now what that's going to look like. But yeah, I hope that you guys have an amazing day tomorrow. I will see you on Thursday. And until then, happy crafting, guys. Good night.